It's time for Rabbi Minkowicz's Weekly Torah Lesson, a place where life's most difficult questions are answered. Here with his spiritual perspective and insight, Rabbi Minkowicz.
Welcome to this week's Torah Lesson. This week's Torah portion is Parsha's Teitzei. The question of the week is, how can you keep your spiritual fire alive? So in this week's Torah portion, actually at the end of the Torah portion, we learn about the mitzvah of the Torah, where God tells us to remember what Amalek did to us when we left Egypt, and not only to remember, but we should not forget what he did to us. So Rashi says that what's the issue here with Amalek? Amalek came at a time when the Jewish people's fire was alive, and they came to cool down the fire. So therefore, God does not want that enemy that's here to destroy you at your core to be remembered, and therefore you have to totally obliterate it. And how do you obliterate it? Nobody should remain, no live human being, but not only live human being, and Rashi says a male, female, older person, a younger person, an animal, any type of animal, you should totally destroy them. This way, you won't remember that enemy that came to cool you down. So the Rebbe asks a very simple question. If we are to destroy Amalek, as the Torah describes so clearly, how come there's no prohibition against remembering, or actually why don't we have an obligation also to get rid of all the inanimate objects, the physical location, or anything physical that exists from Amalek? In Hebrew it's called a domain. So the Rebbe explains, because ultimately, what is the fight of Amalek? Amalek came along to cool down your fire, to make you cold, to make you apathetic to God and to Judaism and to religion. Now, what's the way to combat that? The way to combat that is one way to combat that, one way only. And that is something which is called in Hebrew Kabbalah Wohl, which means without engaging, without getting involved in a fight, just by saying, guess what? I am remaining loyal to God, just like a rock does not move, and same thing, I'm not moving off my position. You can have the best logical reason or emotional reason why God is not great, and Judaism is not great, and religion is not important. I'm like a rock, I'm standing strong with my position. So therefore, in the inanimate objects, in the domain of life, there's no way Amalek can gain success, because domain is not susceptible to anything other than its position. However, when it comes to life force, whether it's a human being or an animal, over there you can easily get swayed, because anyone that has a better feed will attract the animal, whether it's the physical animal or the animal within you, and therefore that has to be totally obliterated. However, when it comes to the inanimate object, that Amalek cannot take over, and that's the lesson that we learn from inanimate objects. To remain strong to God is by taking the position of an inanimate object when it comes to defending Amalek. So to answer the question, how do we keep our fire burning alive? To take the lesson from a rock. Just like the rock does not change for anybody, it remains a rock. Same thing also, we have to have Judaism within us, a part within us, just like the rock is, and irrelevant who comes. It could be the biggest Amalek that's trying to cool us down. We remain strong and loyal to God, just like a rock is. This week's Torah lesson is in memory of Baruch ben Aryeh Leib and Shlomo Ben Yosef. May their souls be elevated for the Torah that we're studying in their memory. Thanks so much for joining us for our weekly Torah lesson. For more information on Chabad, please see our website.